International criticism of Israel's conduct of the war in Gaza has been ratcheting up for months. Today, Britain made it clear Israel must make major changes after what the Prime Minister called the appalling killing of 3 British and 4 other aid workers. ITV News understands that 2 of the Britons who died have been identified as James Henderson and John Chapman. Mr Sunak told his Israeli counterpart Benjamin Netanyahu this evening that far too many aid workers and civilians have lost their lives. The 7 staff from the food charity World Central Kitchen died when the clearly marked cars they were travelling in were hit by Israeli fire. Mr Netanyahu called it an unintended strike. And the strike could cost more lives still. The charity and others have paused their food distribution.
They mourn those who try to do a little good in one of the hardest places on earth simply to live, and then paid with their own lives. 7 aid workers were killed in this attack, 3 of them British. It is one of countless tragedies to have unfolded in Gaza, but this is what makes it different. The victims' nationalities, which have added to the human catastrophe huge diplomatic consequences. ITV News has learned tonight that one of the British dead was a former member of the Special Forces who had been working with the charity. In another hospital, Israel's Prime Minister smiled, having recovered from an operation, but he admitted that Israel had killed innocent people. It happens in war, he said.
Hey, this is Zomi from World Central Kitchen.
It happened to Zomi Francom, a widely respected aid worker whose arrival in any country is a sign that it is facing a dark moment.
It's like uncover this image and it's kind of blurry, it panned across, and then like I saw Zomi's face and I like yelled as soon as I saw it, and it's like waiting for the video to reload and scroll back, and I quickly went down and saw World Central Kitchen, and then I was like looking at it just like, is it her, is it her?
This is the wreckage of one of the vehicles. No chance of survival for the aid workers and support staff inside. Another vehicle and the gaping hole left by an Israeli missile, almost obliterating the large logo that was there to make crystal clear their humanitarian mission. It's the multicoloured insignia of the World Central Kitchen, a familiar emblem of hope amid hunger in Gaza. The convoy had just left the charity's warehouse in Deir al-Balah when it was attacked. The first vehicle was found here on the coastal road, the second half a mile away, and a third further south on the road towards Rafah. The grief in Gaza is matched by anger in London. The British Prime Minister telephoned his Israeli counterpart to say he was appalled by the killing.
We're asking Israel to investigate what happened urgently, because clearly there are questions that need to be answered.
Tonight on social media, Mr Netanyahu promised Israel is fully committed to enabling humanitarian aid to reach the civilian population in Gaza, and we will do everything in our power to ensure that such tragedies do not occur in the future. But the charity has suspended operations. Some other deliveries have been cancelled too. There may be serious repercussions for Israel from its actions last night, but for the hungry and desperate people of Gaza, more hardship and more immediate consequences. John Rain, News at 10.